Sup? So there is this performer. She's a singer. She also plays piano and violin. Her name, her stage name is Emilie Autumn. If you travel in certain circles, if you have certain kinds of interests, you hear the name Emilie Autumn and you go, yes, oh, Emilie Autumn, I love her. And I'm probably in that category. But if you're in like broader circles, you probably hear the name Emilie Autumn and you go, oh, who's that? At which point the person who is telling you about Emilie Autumn is probably going to gush how much they love her. Emilie is kind of an alternative. She's a little bit hard to explain, but once you see her, you get her like instantly. She's Victorian style with like corsets and big hair and high tea. And it's just very, she's got a great stage presence. She is as visually stunning as she is musically talented. She's a great singer. She comes up with some really awesome lyrics. And I think she's just peachy keen. I was always poor and had an unhappy childhood, which has led me to being very much the person that I am today, and leading to my love of all my daydreams and fantasy and science fiction and all the stuff that, my toys and everything, that I like. And so someone like Emilie Autumn, when Alice falls down the rabbit hole and she's in that hallway with all those doors, but she only goes through like the one little door. Well, there's a bunch of other doors there. Emilie Autumn seems like she came from one of those other doors. And that's just, I love it. So I can't help loving that sort of thing just because of the kind of person that I am. Now, what had happened was my life was terrible, and I was just beginning to pull my life back together, and I had gotten a job, but I hadn't started working at the job yet when I learned that there was going to be an Emilie Autumn concert in my town, Austin, Texas, here. And so I wanted to see her, so I was just like, yes, instant, yes, I want to go see her, but I didn't have the money right then to get the tickets as soon as I heard about it. So I started my job, and I finally got paid, because it takes forever to get paid when you start a job. I mean, it feels like it anyway. But as soon as I got paid, I went and I bought the tickets, and they had a VIP option that if you paid $70, you would actually get to like meet her and talk to her. And I was totally going to do that, but they were sold out because I had waited too long. I was actually lucky that I got the normal tickets and I was able to go attend the concert at all. Oh, watch. It just occurred to me that I still held on to the ticket. Hopefully you can see that. I think it's cool. I always have it like, remember when I showed you my apartment recently and there was a big mess on top of my bookshelf? Well, this is one of the things that's in that mess. And it's why it's a mess. It's because I always know right where everything is in that pile of stuff. So I went to see her in concert, and I haven't actually been to a lot of concerts. And they stamped my hand, and the stamp that they used was like a skeleton key. And I thought that was really cool, and I took a picture of it, and that's gonna be my thumbnail for this particular video. Getting to the point, she was the poor thing. She was sick that day, and she could hardly talk, and she could barely sing, but she did the best that she could, and she was actually still quite good, and it was a great show. And I didn't know anything about Emilie Autumn's, the rest of the group when I went to see her. Particularly, I like the one girl, she's called, her stage name is Captain Maggie Maggots. She's just a cute little pirate clown girl, and I find her very entertaining. And there's others. I'm not going to go into all of it. If you want to know, look it up. It's on Google. And so anyway, I went to this concert, and like I said, I haven't been to a lot of concerts, and it was in this fairly small little place, Elysium, it's called. And so it was kind of a small stage, and I have seen other videos of her performances. I suspect that had they had more room, they could have done more. But also she wasn't feeling well, so... but the thing is that she did perform a great performance, and I was fortunate enough that because it was such a small venue, lingo, because it was such a small venue, I was able to be right up next to the stage. I was there early, and I was actually interested in what was going on with the setup of the stage, so I was up near it when the show actually began. And so I was still standing up there while the performance was going on, and I wasn't actually over where I could have the best view, like right smack on. I was like way over to the side, so I saw everything like they were performing here instead of here. And it was actually kind of great. I got to see a lot of stuff going on like behind the scenes. That was really neat stuff. But most importantly for me was that at one point Emilie was singing, and she came over towards my side of the stage, and like people do, I like held up my hand, like yes, we love you, you're great. And she grabbed my hand, and it's a performance thing, but I was holding hands with Emilie Autumn. And that was like a really, it was kind of a life-altering moment for me, because like for just for that moment, I was Emilie's audience, just me. And it made me feel, because I didn't get the VIP ticket, so I wasn't able to talk to her and meet her in person. And I only just barely had gotten paid for my new job, and I had been out of work for 3 years. And in that moment, I was touching a star. Not necessarily what people would consider a huge celebrity, but for me, a personal celebrity icon. She touched me, and it made me feel like I could do anything that I dreamed of. And I've started making videos. I come to points where I feel to myself, I'm almost 40, and I feel like my age is prohibitive of me being able to enjoy the things that I enjoy. And also, I'm bald, and I'm fat, and I'm not too thrilled with the way that my face looks. I'm also not real intelligent. I'm not real strong. I have all these insecurities and all these things that make me just feel like I'm ugly. Just in every way that ugly can be ugly, I am that kind of ugly. And in those moments, it occurs to me that human beings in general just really aren't attractive creatures. we decide for ourselves just kind of arbitrarily what we think is attractive for now, and we do continuously change our minds about it. It used to be that a big fat woman was the thing to be, and now it's if you're a big fat woman, you're ugly, and it keeps changing. And personally, I don't really think that any human can be actually beautiful. The kind of things that I find beautiful are like I like sea slugs. I think they're really pretty. They have a lot of great colors, and their skin is real smooth, and they're like little flowy kind of things, and I think that's neat. And clouds. Clouds are really pretty. You know, fluffy, floating in the sky, in white on blue. That's beautiful to me. I don't think that humans can be beautiful. We're just differently attractive depending upon personal preferences. And so I can kind of overcome my feelings of I'm ugly. But other issues are a little bit more difficult, like, not being very smart. Sometimes I'm not particularly articulate. Sometimes I use a really big word and it is exactly the word that I meant to use, and I feel really proud of myself. And then other times I'll use just an obscure kind of a word, not really an impressive big word, and it's not the word that I meant to say, and I feel really dumb for doing that. But then every once in a while, I'm able to remember that one time I reached out and Emilie Autumn reached back. And then I feel like I can do anything. Bye for now.